Hello, welcome to the PlayStation Access Afterparty, where we have just watched the latest State of Play. I am here, my name is Rob, I am your host. We're joined by Rosie Caddick and David Jackson.
Hello.
I think this is the first time all three of us have done an Afterparty together.
Is it? No.
Really?
No, we've done loads.
You're usually behind the camera, David.
Yeah.
I'm often behind the camera.
Used to be
Very
Ashley
good, very good
Millman.
point. That's
Now,
true.
You've got the hero spot.
That's right, where I belong. Finally. Got the things I'm going to say tonight, I tell you what.
The insight we've been missing all these years.
Well, speaking of heroes, I want to quickly start by what we saw right at the very end of the State of Play, which was a massive deal. Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls coming in 2026, a collaboration between Marvel and Arc System Works,
Yeah.
who have an amazing pedigree when it comes to fighting games and imbuing these characters with their own distinct art style. And you can see more of that if you head to the PlayStation blog. But a very exciting deal.
Yeah.
Announcement right at the very end. We're going to dive through and talk about as much as we can that was in the show. Basically,
It was packed.
It was.
I felt like it was really, really packed.
It was packed.
It was really varied, I found. Like, all sorts of games were popping up, all sorts of different, like, styles. I was really just excited to see what was coming up next.
A lot of really good Japanese stuff.
There was loads of Japanese.
I thought it was the funniest State of Play I've
Yeah.
seen so far.
Very much so.
Mostly because, and we'll get onto it in a second, the return of Suda 51.
Yeah.
What a legend.
Yeah.
But we'll start with Lumines Arise, which is the first thing we saw. Just a lovely, kaleidoscopic, beautiful looking game. You know, the people who've made Tetris Effect.
Fantastic game. You should play it if you haven't.
I don't think I've played a Lumines game since my playing it on the Vita. No, there's one on the Vita.
I don't think I've ever played one, but I've played Tetris Effect. And as soon as we were obviously at the very start of the show, we were trying, as you always do, like, what's this? What's that? And you suddenly, you started to get the vibe. You were like, I know this feeling.
Yeah.
What's that feeling? I know that kind of, what's the music? And as soon as, we realised it was from the makers of Tetris Effect, I was super excited. I think it's like a difficult game to show in a way, because it's so much about the feeling of playing it. I can't remember what they said about it. In the little developer chat at the end, but it was like, forget all your fears, lose yourself.
Yeah.
But it's so true.
In
Tetris
this
Effect.
landscape of eclectic synth pop.
Yeah.
And they did like a little joke as well, which
They
I
did,
really appreciate.
Yeah.
So did I. It was great. It really lifted it. It lifted it. But I mean, Tetris Effect is so good, and it's so much more than the sum of its parts, which is like the difficult thing about seeing it rather than getting to play it, because it's such an experience. So
You really do get engulfed in Tetris Effect, like especially. I remember I went through a phase where I would come home and then to relax, turned off my bedroom lights and then just played it.
Well, there's something to be said about playing it in VR.
Yeah.
Because Tetris Effect was on VR, and excitingly, Lumines Arise is coming to PS5, but also PlayStation VR2, autumn 2025.
That would be an amazing way to play it.
So you can be in.
Yes.
In the lights, in the sound.
Forgetting myself and my fears and my problems.
I'll definitely do that.
Yeah, 100%.
It's just like a sensory experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited for it. Then, very excitingly, Rosie, as soon as Diana, to give her non...
Yes.
Yeah.
Her human name. As soon as she appeared on screen, Rosie shouted, "About blooming time!"
What did I say that? I thought I was like, finally or something.
You said, I think you did say finally.
The subtext.
I've decided.
The
subtext
The
was
bloomin' was very
about
me.
blooming time.
Bloomin' finally.
This is Pragmata.
Yes.
We saw this, I think, one of the very first ever PS5 State of Plays or showcases.
Yeah.
They showed Pragmata. It's been silent ever since. I really enjoyed right at the end of this trailer, they had a little post-it note saying, sorry,
Oh, it was great.
2022.
Well, yeah, that's because they did an individual trailer of just Diana, or this Diana character, and she literally held up a note just saying, like, sorry, we're delaying it. And now it's like the same note, only they've scratched it. Like,
Oh, that's great.
I just thought it was really good.
Another great bit of sense of humour tonight.
Yes.
Really
Yeah.
enjoyed that. Overall, there was a great sense of humour about the whole show, which is so nice. But this, I mean, just looked fantastic, I thought. It really caught my attention. I think the world is fascinating. Seems like it's set on the moon. At one point we saw the shutters lift and we were looking back down at Earth. Diana is an extremely interesting character, and their relationship is very interesting. And I really like that kind of just the disparate nature of the characters. A very big, burly, soldier-looking kind of guy, and very
really
small,
excitable, like
and fragile-looking. But she seems like she's actually can really handle herself.
It's got to be nearly time to do a Friday feature on 7 games where you're a big, burly man journeying with a small girl.
Yes.
Write it down quick. We got one.
Don't anyone at home do that.
But I enjoy the genre because you know they're going to learn something from each other at the end.
Yeah.
Like the big burly man will probably find his humanity or something as he's shooting mechs on the moon.
Yeah.
And Diana will also learn to be human. Because something about Diana, there's something slightly...
Well, that her name is D133.
D133.
For a start, there's
what's
that.
going on there.
Yeah.
But the big burly man, we're just going to keep calling him the big burly man. This is the first time we'd heard his voice, I think. Like in the previous trailers, we got like a glimpse of him. We had no idea what he was like. We saw his face and his voice in this. Yeah. Just a lot more character to him now than there was before.
I like how his voice always was coming from like inside the suit as well. It's like you always felt as if he genuinely was in the suit with that like, you know, filter or whatever it was over it. Like I just thought it was a really nice touch.
I think there's a lot more to unpick in this trailer as well, because if you remember, it started with a sort of corporate video almost about a company I think called Delphi, and it was explaining.
Yeah, that's right.
We were sort of like, what game is this? And and then got into the gameplay and we're like, oh, it's Pragmata, exciting. And I think I'd like to go and watch it again and watch it knowing what we're about to see and take more note of what's in that corporate video. And I think it starts with a question like, what happens after dreaming or something. I want to go back and unpick and start thinking like, what's going on here? What's all this about?
I was so excited to finally see, like when I saw like the character opening his eyes and then we saw Diana.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about that intro sequence, but you're absolutely right. There's a whole mystery behind it, and now I'm like, oh god, I want to rewatch it now. I was so just like, finally some news. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that corporate stuff at the start.
Yeah, I think it's definitely worth a rewatch.
Well, Pragmata coming in 2026. It's real. They said it in the trailer. It's real.
What does being pragmatic mean?
I don't know.
Neither do I.
Being pragmatic, it means like being realistic.
Okay.
You know?
So interesting. I'm just trying to think what pragmata might mean. Being realistic.
It's just a cool word, isn't
real like? Who knows? Who knows?
I think it's just a cool word.
Rosie,
have you got the chat in front of you there?
I do. I was going to say.
We should say hello to the chat.
Yes, hello
Thank
to
you very much
everyone
for
in the
joining us.
chat. I have got your messages over here. We were just so in the zone of chatting.
Who's online, Rosie? Who's hanging out? What's the vibe?
Well, I'm just saying, literally, as you say that, Ashley Millman's in the chat. Hello, Ashley Millman.
Is it the real Ashley Millman?
Ashley Millman lives or lives, but it's a very funny pun. It's a very funny pun. But it is the Ashley Millman. We've got Jarvis, we've got Cy Raven, we've got Grayson, Yankster W, Whippy, D3 Mystic, Dante. Let's go a bit further up in the chat as well. We've got Darren, Brendan, Future Sequence, going up further, Christian, Dennis, hello everyone. It's wonderful to see you. Everyone's been talking about the state of play so far. They've all been saying that they've loved the variety that's been on the show so far.
Yeah.
Now everyone's saying hello. Look at all these lovely hello messages. Isn't that lovely?
Very nice. Yeah.
Isn't that lovely? And yeah, people are just already. It's a lot of people already talking about a certain demo that's come out, which Alex is very particularly excited about.
We'll get to that.
But we will get to that, which is why I haven't mentioned anything yet. But a lot of people have been talking about that.
Yeah. I mean, we could be streaming that instead of this.
Yeah, why would we do
the after party could just be.
That's what the smart person would be doing. Yeah, I think so.
Not smart, unfortunately.
No.
But yeah, Pragmata 2026, and we'll get to that demo. But the next thing, this is my personal game of the show. Romeo is a Dead Man.
Yes.
The return of Suda 51.
I have no idea how to talk about this.
We were all laughing.
Yes.
At it. Like, genuinely, all of us were like having a really good laugh about, but also like being super interested in the action because it looks gory and action filled and really like good gameplay. But like even the whole beginning of it, it's just so like it was so bizarre.
It was so bizarre.
You just can't help but laugh.
A great word.
Yeah.
Well, it just flip flopped through various genres
Yeah.
and mediums almost. We start with this very sort of scratchy looking anime.
Yeah.
like a nice dinner scene. Everyone's enjoying a katsu curry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the doorbell rings and a monster rips half this guy's face off.
Yeah.
And then another man shoves a thing in his eye and he's like, "It's okay. This is just what you need when you're dead. You're dead
going to be
now."
half dead.
You're
Like,
a dead
there you
man.
go. You're a dead man.
And then it just Romeo, the dead man, just goes around making other things.
I
dead.
like how the music really hammered in as well. It was
Yeah.
like, I'm a dead man, or whatever it was, just singing that on loop. I was like, yeah, here we go.
This is great. I didn't know what I was watching. Like it started when the thing went into his eye. It followed some cartoony like microbe going through his insides. I was
It's
like,
like
is
inner
this,
space,
Is
yeah.
this the game?
Yeah, I
Do you
want
go
it too.
through- I want there to be a mini game of that in this game.
Well, it looks like the kind of game where there might be that kind of minute. It's like it's bizarre again, and it focused on sort of one particular kind of style of gameplay. But then at the end, we had this sort of rush of other things that felt like they were in the game. It was so unusual. And I think in the interview with Suda51, I think he said, what did he say? That you're an FBI agent tracking down
Targets through space-time and defeating them.
Yeah. And you might find out the answer to questions like, why are you a dead man?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
Why is Romeo
Why
a dead
is Romeo
man?
Why
a
is
dead man?
he a dead man?
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's just genius. It was so enticing.
Didn't he describe it as a bloody action game?
Yes, a bloody action game.
Yeah.
And I think it said ultra-violent science fiction as well.
Ultra-violent science fiction.
Yeah.
Two things I really like.
We got Jonah19 in the chat who says it's a fever dream. We also had, where was it? I think when we were all singing, I can't find the comment. Where's it gone? But someone was literally just going, "I'm a dead man" with like capital exclamation marks. And Alex Coe says, "Love a good mini game." So maybe there will be some
Well, I
more
hope
mini.
so.
But like,
We
who
can
knows?
only
Who
hope.
knows?
For those of you who are unfamiliar with the work of Suda51, some of his previous works include Killer 7, No More Heroes, Shadows of the Damned. I remember Shadows of the Damned.
Yeah.
When we first started making Access,
Same.
is this really quirky action horror game. Lollipop Chainsaw.
Yeah,
Yes.
it seems very
Everyone
lollipop
remembers
chainsaw.
Lollipop Chainsaw. And Let It Die. Which I don't know if anyone played that free-to-play PS4 dungeon crawler. But some very eclectic work.
Yes.
In the past
Yeah.
of Suda51. So very excited to see what he's cooking up here. And it looks like he's cooking up a treat.
Yes, very much so. I don't know where you find those levels of creativity, honestly.
It's more the pacing. Like, I'm like, they've just rammed so much and they've delivered it so like go, 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 go. Like, genuinely, you don't know what to think, but you're enjoying what you're looking at and you're enjoying what trip you're being taken on. But you're like, I don't know what's going on right now, but I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Indeed. Next up, Rosie, I'm hoping you can tell us more about this because you were very excited when it came on. Silent Hill F coming on September the 25th this year.
Yes.
Just in time for my birthday.
Yeah. Oh, it is. It's only
Happy
2 days after your birthday, isn't it?
Great.
Is that right? Have I got it right?
You have. Thank you.
have,
Yeah, I
okay,
appreciate that.
I know your
friend.
birthday more than like my wife's or anyone else's because it's, you make sure you
I
drum
knew
it into
you were
us
going to
every
say
year.
that, yeah. I thought, I said it's not,
know
oh,
it's
how
my
nice you
birthday?
know, but then, oh,
You just have
I
a
know your birthday.
Yeah, well, it's easy to remember, isn't it, Mike?
Well, it's just mine's just a date as well. They're all just dates.
They're all just dates at the end of the day. No
Anyway.
biggie, just dates.
Silent Hill F.
Yes.
Rosie, this just looked very, very scary and lots of very horrific-looking imagery.
Yes.
Like puppet girls contorting and dying.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Well, so
Yeah.
I'm incredibly excited for this. We've seen a couple of bits and bobs about this game so far, but this is like really kind of taking me back to the sort of Silent Hill era of like the original trilogy, where clearly you've got an individual who is going through or having a traumatic experience in some way, and everything in this world seems to symbolize whatever it is like that is being traumatized, essentially. Especially with Silent Hill 2, but the idea of that you've got this individual who doesn't know why they're there, and they are facing just all of these ghouls that I'm like thinking, we don't know what the game's about yet, but already I'm thinking that could be a symbolism for this, that could represent that. The whole time through the trailer, you hear like the characters calling like our main protagonist like a traitor. And also I'm guessing this is going to hone in on like school dramas, like the sort of like horrible sort of, I guess, well, I don't want to say horrible side of school, but sometimes school can be horrible and brutal and stuff, and it seems to be kind of angling in maybe on that sort of era. So, and also it just seems to have a really nice mix of like Silent Hill with a bit of Japanese folklore as well. I think I've seen from previous clips as well that there seems to be some which are very inspired by just ghouls. I don't know a lot about at all, but what I've seen of them from like Japanese folklore and things like that, and I'm like, oh, this could be very, very interesting. And it just looks so cool. Like the abandoned towns that they've got with the tight alleyways and the beautiful set pieces that they've got. I just think it's going to look really dark, really like alone, like really alone, lonesome, really isolating.
Okay,
that's the word. Like
all of those,
all of those things. I think it's just really going to hone in what made the first like Silent Hill game so like iconic and like memorable. And yeah, I'm very, very excited to see what they do with it.
We can tell.
Yeah, literally when it comes out, I'm going to be talking about it so much. I'm just going to be like, bam, 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 bam.
How about you, Dave? You excited about Silent Hill F?
No, I'm not. No, I'd like not to play it. It looks way too scary for me. But I do think it looks, like just visually, like Rosie was saying, I think the Japanese town that they created is quite beautiful, and that's a shame for me.
In a horrible way.
In a horrible way.
Yeah.
In a horrible way. Like when there was a bit when they kind of you investigated like a horribly contorted sort of dead person and pulled something out of her, and then she seemed to come to life. No. Yeah. Not for me.
I like it when it's just like things crawling on the ground and you hit them with a lead pipe. Like the normal Silent Hill.
That's the other thing is
I can almost deal with that.
That's the other thing is she seemed to be a schoolgirl in a horrible place. Like at one point she had a pipe. She'd found a pipe. That was it. It's not like she's got guns and stuff, where it's like I'm going to become really capable. It's like I'm someone who shouldn't be here. I've got a pipe.
There was even one moment when she's got like a sword and when she's on the bridge or something, because I remember seeing her with the sword, and even seeing her, I'm like, she doesn't know what she's doing with that sword.
Yeah.
Like
maybe she does, Rose.
Maybe she does.
Maybe she does. But
maybe the F is what she'll be saying to all of the monsters as she stabs them.
Flip.
F.
You flip her.
No, F in the chat. When
F
you
in
die.
the chat. Ah, maybe.
I did wonder whether they were inspired by Fs in the chat.
Fs in the chat. Yeah.
And we've had lots of comments on this as well. We've got, Alex says Silent Hill F looks terrifying. Poor Dave. I'm sorry. Future Sequence said Silent Hill F looked really good. John Bain said Silent Hill.
Thanks, John Baines.
Cy Raven says my reaction to that one was Ash is loving this. We'll put Ashley Millman there.
Has Ashley Millman said anything about it in the chat?
Let me have a look. Let me see if she's popped up.
I bet she's just gone to bed.
Yeah.
She came in to troll us and then went to bed.
No, the last thing she said, I believe, was when we were talking about Romeo's a dead man, which was lots of appealing words there. But yeah, a lot of people here are chatting about Silent Hill F, which is wonderful to see. Mainly a lot of people just being excited for you to play it, Dave. I won't lie.
Oh, for goodness sake.
I won't lie. A lot of people
Where's
are
your compassion, people? Where's your humanity?
Shouldn't have ever let it
got
slip
rights.
that you were scared of horror games.
Honestly, if I had a time machine,
you go back to that moment.
I'd just sort myself out with that. I'd just go, just tell them like...
You go to one place in the past.
Exactly. I could change anything.
You could save... millions.
I could alter the whole course of human history.
But what you're going to do is go back to that moment where you first revealed that you were scared of horror games.
Yeah, and I changed that. Wow. I just wouldn't say anything.
Well, there we go. We need to move on because, oh my God, I've dropped my pen.
How will you continue?
I don't know. I use that to just point at things on my list and helps me think doing that. Digimon's coming out on the 10th.
Yes.
The 3rd of October. I know you said the 10th of March.
I had to do
the dates in the wrong way round, don't they?
Switcheroo. Come on, America. Why? Why October 3rd? And we would say the 3rd of October. Yeah. We should have agreed this a long time ago. It's always tricky. Yes. Digimon, I have no familiarity with.
It was just the thing. It was the thing that came out when I was a kid, and I was like, really? But this looks just, I don't understand what's going on. But for Digimon fans, I imagine it's very epic. And
I know
exciting.
a lot of people who do love Digimon, and I can, like, when I was watching it, I could imagine them all being excited for this installment because it looked really, really good. I don't know anything about Digimon. Like, it came out also while I was a kid, and all I remember was mainly it's the theme tune because it goes change into digital champions. I love that bit. So, do you know the theme tune? Oh, you got to listen to the theme tune.
I don't think I've ever experienced any Digimon culture whatsoever. I've never seen it. I didn't.
The theme tune
know
was
exactly
great.
But I agree. Basically, like I think it makes me sad. I don't know anything about it because it looks really good, especially the sort of walking around. Again, Japan parts of it, I really am into.
It's just one of those things as a kid. They had Pokemon and Digimon, obviously. Then you had Beyblade.
Yeah, Beyblade.
Did you ever play Beyblade?
I don't know what I was doing.
I had an actual Beyblade.
But I had a Beyblade. We had a kid in the town who had the arena, and then you'd like
you just flick them off, and they'd spin and they'd knock into each other.
No, that rings a bell.
Like conkers, but really cool.
Yeah, spinning fast. Yeah, that rings a bell.
And then Yu-Gi-Oh. Oh my God, I love Yu-Gi-Oh
I'm aware
so
that
much.
existed, but I've not seen it. I don't know what it is.
Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, nothing.
Oh, what a time.
what an era.
What was I doing with my youth?
I don't know what the hell you were doing.
I don't know. We don't know.
Well, we've got our own moderator Domino who says Digimon. So there we go. Domino, I'm sure, Domino right now is screaming Digimon right now.
We also saw Bloodstained, the Scarlet Engagement. That's coming out in 2026.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very excited for that. I love the first Bloodstained game, or Bloodstained Ritual of the Night.
I have not played it.
It's fantastic. Like, as soon as I saw this game, I was like, this is looking very Bloodstained. But you know when you don't want to say anything yet?
Yes.
And then I wrote in my notes, like, looks very Bloodstained. And then the title came up. I was like,
you should have gambled, Rosie.
I know.
We would have all thought, wow, Rosie's really on the pulse.
Yeah. If Rosie had a time machine, she'd go back.
I'd go back just to that moment.
Just so you could say Bloodstained before it came up on the screen. Very excitingly for me, coming out on the 30th of September is Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicles, which is a remaster of the original Final Fantasy Tactics. You can play the classic version of the game within this, and also the enhanced version with the improved graphics and the fully voiced cutscenes and all that good stuff. I didn't play much of Final Fantasy Tactics in the day, but it's always been something I wanted to play more of. For you and Dave, I assume you're unaware of Final Fantasy Tactics.
I was going to say, as a huge Final Fantasy fan now, I think I heard some Final Fantasy 7 music in there.
Way, here he is.
Well, David.
That's right.
Am I hearing a Final Fantasy quiz?
I wanted to ask where it sits, how it works, how it fits in the Final Fantasy.
Well, Final Fantasy Tactics it's like a grid-based strategy RPG.
Yeah.
So,
which is very much up my street. I like that.
I don't know if you're aware of Disgaea or anything like that.
I haven't played it.
But it's the grid-based system, and you move around and you attack people on the grid. But it's also got a really cool story, and it's set in the world of Ivalice, which is like a few of the Final Fantasy games are set in Ivalice. Final Fantasy 12 is set in Ivalice.
Okay.
It's a bit of a divisive world within the Final Fantasy canon. I'm a massive fan of the Ivalice games. Vagrant Story, I think, is a sort of Ivalice game spin-off. But there's just a vibe and an art style to the Final Fantasy Tactics, Vagrant Story, Final Fantasy 12 branch of games that I find really appealing. There's a quality to the music, a quality to the storytelling, because, as with all Final Fantasy games, it's pinned by like this turn-based battle system. That's the game.
Yeah.
But there's often like a really beautiful story weaved around it. And so this is a very big deal for me, and I imagine quite a lot of people.
Well, it's considered one of the greats on PS1, isn't it?
For sure.
Whenever you talk about the top 10 or the top so-and-so games on PlayStation 1, I always see Final Fantasy Tactics. So I haven't played it yet, but I'm very excited to delve into it. Because you know me, if it's on PS1, I'm like, hello. gimme.
Good Lord.
Especially when it's one of the best ones. It's my bedtime.
Yes, that's right. Rosie shouldn't be up this
on
late.
dating apps. Anyone with PS1. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
PS1.
Yeah.
I'll swipe left on you. Is that the good one? Swipe left or swipe right?
I don't know.
I don't know.
No. I'm only swipe up and
So
down.
see if there's any information from the producer. Swiping right is the good one, apparently.
Right, swipe right.
Swipe right on
According
PS1.
to the love doctor
But does that
in
mean
our
I
ears.
move? Does that mean I move my finger to the right or the
Surely you
picture
move
to
your
the
finger
left?
to the right.
Yeah, it's like you...
Okay, we don't know.
Just trying to picture it there.
Yeah.
We should talk next about baby steps. which we identified as a game immediately that we will be live streaming.
Yes.
Because it looks hilarious.
Sid Schumann said he laughed so much he barfed.
Yeah, which is a big claim. Very big claim.
Which I don't. Maybe the game needs to come with a warning. But this is another. I mean, we talked about the great sense of humour in this show, and this game obviously had a brilliant sense of humour.
It's just going to be funny.
What is going on in the story? Is a man in a onesie seems to be hiking with his friend, and he needs the toilet at some point. It looked really like one of those brilliant fun, I suppose.
There's something just innately funny, isn't there, about ragdoll physics in video games?
Yeah, you just can't escape
games that are built around ragdoll physics.
Yeah.
Just very hilarious. It's almost like they don't even need to try. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of effort that goes into making a game like this. But
yeah, 100%.
You can just make your own humour, and it looks like you have to physically put each foot in front of the other as you walk. And so you just be falling over all the time.
Yeah.
And you can just tell they've designed the game to make it as difficult for you as possible.
Yes.
Like, it's not just going to be a case of, it's like just a lovely smooth walk up the mountain. It's going to have obstacles that would not usually be there, I bet. That it's like, go on then, climb over that now, please.
Yeah.
So it's going to be like a really good fun time with some really interesting and silly mechanics.
And this was the point in the State of Play where a lot was announced.
Yeah.
There was just game after game after game. I've tried my very best to write them all down. We had Hiragami coming out on September the 3rd. Everybody's Golf Hot Shots coming out on September the 5th. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, which looks super cool, coming out on July the 31st, which is like next month.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Which is very cool. And then Ken, which was a climbing game, which I thought looked really great. It reminded me of, and I hope I'm getting the name right here, Jusam.
Don't know.
Like a climbing game that was, I think it came out a year, maybe a couple of
I
years
recognise the title, though. Like,
I might be getting the name wrong. I think it's called Jusam. Reminded me of that a lot, where it's just about climbing and surviving.
Yeah. I thought it would be a game that was right up your street. I mean, I thought it looked fantastic, to be honest, and everything they said about it, it's basically about climbing. But then they were like, but the mountain's full of surprises and mysteries, and finding this kind of giant statue carved into the rock, and really, I found very interesting. But I also, I would love to do climbing. Honestly, I'm way too scared and unfit to do it. But it seemed to have captured that sense of kind of freedom and overcoming something extraordinary, and lots of sitting on, looking out at vistas and things.
But also tackling like the hardships of it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Camping in, I loved that sort of. It looked like when you've reached a sort of a base camp, you set up your tent and then you can maybe prepare for the next day. It looked great. It looked clearly a lot of love for actual climbing in that game.
I went on a hiking experience once, and on one of the mountains I was on, we had to do some scrambling, which is when the rock is such that you can't walk over it. You have to go, climb up it with your.
Oh, okay.
And it was maybe like 10 feet down.
Yeah.
I had to scramble. But I was terrified.
Yeah.
Just the adrenaline you get from, oh my God.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call if I had to name that thing, I wouldn't call it scrambling. That makes me panic more.
Well, no, this wasn't scrambling in this game. This was actual proper climbing.
Yeah, but I'm saying like in real life, like the climbing of, well, just scrambling in real life. Like if you said we're going to scramble up that rock, I'd feel like I'm going to fumble around because I'm scrambling, panicking, and being like, oh God, I can't climb it, and then I'm just going to
scramble like eggs.
Yeah, like eggs. Yeah.
It's like, no, I would like to calmly move.
Why can't we call it calmly climb?
Yes. We then saw the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, which for fans of Mortal Kombat must be like an absolute dream come true.
Yeah.
It basically looked like it was a beautiful love letter to all of Mortal Kombat.
Yes,
from
so
history.
many games. Yeah,
I mean,
I really enjoyed this section in this kind of video, just because it really brought home the importance of Mortal Kombat, and that what a massive cultural phenomena it is. I think it said 100 million games sold. Across all the different Mortal Kombats. Obviously, there's been movies and. It was an amazing, I can remember Mortal Kombat from when I was young, and it was, so different, so violent. The use of I loved in the video they showed the use of them recording the actual move sets with actors, the characters and stuff. It's great. So I think it must be.
It had an aura about it in any arcade that you walked into. The Mortal Kombat arcade. As a kid, it looked like something forbidden. Like my
I was going to
parents
say, I always knew
never
it as
let
the
me
forbidden.
go near Mortal Kombat. It's like, you're not playing that.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to play it so bad because they were like, no.
Yeah.
But I think they made a big deal here, didn't they, about the preservation of the history of Mortal Kombat. And it's interesting, we've reached like a point in video game history where the presentation and archiving of previous games in a particular series has become a thing that people can care about and curate properly.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the first Mortal Kombat games are now old enough that they can be considered something that you would curate and archive, which are words I would associate with something in a museum.
Yeah.
To think about video games as being old enough for that is quite a strange feeling.
Yeah.
But one that I imagine will only continue and become more prominent as we go on. I mean, what's
Definitely.
like a 100-year-old game going to look like in 80 years' time?
Yeah. I
Very
mean, less than
exciting.
80 now, I'm afraid.
Yes.
Yeah.
60,
Yeah.
70 years.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's very Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. Maybe we should do a stream where we fight each other on every single
every
Mortal Kombat
Oh,
That would be cool.
yeah, that'd be good.
Next, there's just like a little game, Metal Gear Solid Delta.
Never
coming
heard
out
of
on
it.
August the 26th.
Yeah.
We
Are you
just-
okay? You feeling
yeah,
okay?
Fine.
You cool?
I'm really cool about
You
it.
cool. August,
Totally
you
cool.
say?
I'm not.
Yeah.
Did you see the Ape Escape Monkeys?
And
Oh,
the
yeah.
Ape Escape Monkeys are in it. Rosie went absolutely ballistic at that point.
Yeah.
Yes,
when
I
the Ape
did.
Escape Monkeys came on.
Yes, because did you see them? They look
we
fantastic.
did.
I saw it all. I
Did you see
saw
Snake holding one of the apes?
I saw Snake fighting Volgin.
Yes.
I saw him fighting the Fury. I saw him fighting the Pain.
Yeah.
I saw him on the bike.
Revolver Ocelot.
Yeah.
Revolver
A lot of
Ocelot.
Ocelot.
Yeah.
And they hinted at a little something at the end as well.
They
Yeah.
said and more, and we
Yeah.
saw one of the little frogs,
Mm.
which are collectible. Well, they're not collectible. You can shoot them
Yeah.
in the original Metal Gear Solid 3. So the frogs are back, but we just saw Snake and his camouflage, like changing from the moss into the rock.
Yeah.
And then another person running through. Who knows what that could
We
mean?
can't speculate.
We can't speculate.
Seemed exciting.
You can speculate in the chat.
Yeah, oh
Please
yeah, go for it.
speculate in the chat all you like, but we won't be doing any speculating. We just say what we see,
We
like
do.
catchphrase.
Yeah, I can't believe August is so soon, man. Like,
I'm so
It feels
excited.
like this has been we've been looking forward to this for a long time.
It's been
I know this is how it goes. This is always how it goes. It's like it's just time. Like time passes and then the thing happens. But yeah, wow,
I
August.
think 2025 has been an all-timer year.
it's been incredible.
already.
Yeah,
It's been a
And
great year.
The stuff that's coming out still to come.
I know.
Well, we're not far away from Death Stranding 2 now.
yeah,
I mean, it's just the bangers don't stop.
yeah.
Bangers don't stop. And then another banger was revealed. Sorry, what's
I
someone
was just
saying,
going to
Rosie?
say, Connor Queen in the chat says, why are we letting Rosie be up this late? Don't you know she turns into an ape escape ape after midnight? It
Yes.
just makes me feel like a
That is
gremlin.
a good point.
It's not midnight yet.
Yeah.
Don't worry. We'll have Rosie home before midnight.
Yeah, luckily
When the
Rosie's on
Cinderella spell
on BST.
finishes
I'll
and
just
Rosie
come-
assumes her true form,
Yeah.
which is an ape escape
Which is an
monkey.
ape escape monkey all
Yeah.
along, all along. Sorry, that comment really made me chuckle.
So the next game that was revealed, another little game, just another little, not anything really to write home about. Nioh 3.
yeah,
Yeah.
Neo
early
series.
Look, pretty
26.
chilled,
Yeah.
pretty, no one was really,
Not really
like...
bothered about it, to be honest.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
It's and there's a demo right now.
yeah, right now.
If you
No
wanted
one
to
in the
play that.
team is going to be...
I mean, I don't know why anyone's watching this stream. To be honest, if you're still awake, you should be playing the Nioh 3. I don't know why we aren't.
Well,
Alex
it was-
is probably
I should
doing
say,
it right now.
this was all a joke. Alex is incredibly excited about Nioh 3. We
And-
were all joking. He was...
Well, even I, who are traditionally suck at games like this, especially Nioh,
Yeah.
could not help but be mesmerised by the look of it.
Yeah.
And the addition of this new fighting style. So traditionally, you've got the samurai fighting style.
Yeah.
They're adding in ninja
Yeah.
into this.
Yep.
Who better to do it than Team Ninja?
Yes.
And also what looked like some vastly more open
They said much more
areas
open
and
worlds.
stages.
Yeah.
So not quite open world, but
No.
opener than it has been before.
Yeah.
Very excited to see what. I mean, I can't believe Nioh 3 is here already. It doesn't seem like that long ago. We had
It
Nioh
really
yeah,
2.
doesn't.
literally, yeah.
It really doesn't, and there is a demo right now, apparently, and I think the demo is being downloaded onto our PlayStation right now
Yeah.
too. I've seen people sneaking around, and we were supposed to have Alex or Nath sat next to Rob, but
That's what they're doing.
But
There.
yeah,
Alex is playing the Nioh
couldn't-
3 demo.
They couldn't make it. But yeah, it was. I mean, those games are so hard, aren't they? I want to be good at them.
Yeah, I'd love to be good at it.
I haven't played them yet, but I really want to, and it's definitely the thing in my backlog that Alex, every time I say, oh, what should I play, Alex will always say, Rosie, it's time to play Nioh, and I'm like, oh, we'll get there.
Yeah. We really can't underestimate the adding the ninja style. That's such a huge development, I think, and it, they really showed it off. It seemed much more quick and
you'd have to say it's like bringing elements of Ninja Gaiden into Nioh.
Yeah.
Which is just, tantalizing, isn't it?
Very.
For fans of both those series.
Indeed.
And of Team Ninja in general.
Yeah.
Early 2026 is all we know for Nioh 3. Keep your eyes on the channel. Maybe there'll be something tomorrow, maybe not. Who knows?
Maybe.
We can't predict these things. We only knew it existed. We didn't even know it existed 40 minutes ago.
Exactly. We wake up each day and decide what we do.
Yep.
So, and who knows?
Well, Star6694 has already said that it's Alex's next platinum is Nioh 3. I can guarantee you Alex is going to get platinum.
He won't be getting one until early 2026, I agree. Yes, that's right.
Ooh. Deep burn.
Next up, this is when I looked really cool when we were watching it.
Did you? I don't remember.
I did.
Yeah.
It came on, and immediately I said,
it's a game.
This looks like Thief, I said.
You did say that.
Yeah.
You did say that.
And that was like
I was thinking
seconds.
it. I didn't have a notebook, but if I had, I would have written down, looks a bit like Thief.
You weren't brave enough to say it.
I wasn't brave enough to say it.
And I called it, and I was right.
You did. You really did.
It really hammered it in with the final shot when they took out the fire with the little water arrow.
Yes.
I was like, yeah, that's 100% Thief now.
It's weird how Thief has a look. Because you're right, it did look like Thief, and I was glad that that's what it was, and it had that look, and it's so perfect for VR too.
Yeah.
The hands, which is like a big thing in the game. That first-person view. Obviously the
picking locks and putting your hand behind pictures to pull the frame off the wall.
Yeah,
and
everything's very tangible.
Bow and arrow and snuffing out candles.
Sneaking around up in the rafters with the bow and arrow and the different kinds of arrow types. It looked like it just goes hand in hand with VR2. It looked really, really good.
So the full name, I should say, is Thief VR Legacy of Shadow, and it's coming in 2025.
Yes.
It's been ages since we've had a Thief game.
Yeah, really has.
You can, you've got the look of the city. Dishonored, obviously, heavily inspired by the look of Thief.
Yeah.
Also, mentioning Thief, because sort of Thief adjacent, and I'm skipping ahead a little bit here, but coming to the Classics catalogue very soon is the original Deus Ex.
Yeah.
Such an amazing game.
What a drop that is.
Yeah, an iconic game.
That is. I mean, it's one of the best games of all time.
Absolutely, yeah. I love that series, but the first one is particularly special.
Yeah,
definitely, and it's great if you haven't played it before. Great opportunity to play it. I'll definitely be going back, even just to play that opening level.
Yeah,
I want to do that again
for sure. We had Tides of Tomorrow announced for PS5. Sea of Remnants also announced, but the most exciting thing, I think we all did a massive cheer when this was announced. We've got 5 more challenge levels coming soon.
Yes!
For Astrobot!
Yeah.
Astrobot!
Yes! Another chance for Robert of Access to prove his quality.
Yeah. How many chances does he need?
Well, I've taken a few of them.
Yeah,
I've taken a few chances.
Have you?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
This is when even after our last stream, Rob's been silently playing in the background.
I haven't actually, no.
No.
I wasn't here for the last stream, you see, so I didn't get my chance to prove my quality. But I don't know who won. How did it go?
It was Team Rob and Alex that won, but it was an incredibly exciting battle. Okay. Very, very exciting.
I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear it.
Rosie was the individual winner of the day.
Right.
With a 4 win to 1 loss ratio.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
Alex and I both had a 3 win to 2 loss ratio.
Okay, not bad.
And Ash had a 0 win, 5 loss ratio.
Hopefully she's not here
Hopefully
to be reminded of that.
Bed.
Yeah.
Don't want to remind you of that, Ash.
Yeah. I just want to double down and say I'm so glad that there's more Astrobot coming.
Yeah.
It's just great. We absolutely love it playing it on the channel. It's so great that we get to play it together.
Oh yeah, it's the best. I hope they do, if they're doing the 1 drop a week thing.
Yeah,
which I imagine they will be doing. I love doing this.
That cadence.
I look forward every time I come into work, and I know it's an Astrobot level day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
And Whitby
What a
was in the chat at least earlier.
The world record holder.
I wonder
Whitby.
how Whitby feels about it.
I mean, there must be pressure, right? It's like, oh man, I got to
Well-
be the best in the world at 5 new levels
more
now.
times.
Yeah, Whitby
Yeah.
says, Astro, my boy! Yes!
That's my boy. That's my
So,
boy.
Whitby is screaming in but Alex says,
Excellent.
I'm ready to beat your times, and Whitby's not having it.
Well, yes, I'm not sure Alex can back up that claim. But
Alex talking big there. And Justin Hall says, Astrobot is slowly replacing Delsing as the PS Access mascot. Oh, Delsin. Delsin's not on the show.
Oh, see, he's not there, but Astro is.
Astro is, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
It's
Bye
true.
bye, Delsin.
It's Toy Story all over again.
Yeah, forgotten.
Yeah,
He's in a box
Delsin's
somewhere.
like, he's standing on a bed which used to have his face on it.
Yeah.
It looks down, and it's just
There's all
Astrobot
Astro
everywhere.
The posters are changing to Astrobot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor
Deserved, though, I'm
Delsin.
afraid.
A bit
Deserved.
of Randy Newman in the background.
Yeah.
Strange
Things
things.
are happening to me.
So yeah, Astrobot. Well, keep your eyes on the channel. We're absolutely going to be covering those 5 new levels when they drop,
Yeah.
and I'm very excited for it. As soon as he came on, we were all just like, just say there's more levels,
Yeah.
more levels, and that's what he said.
Yeah.
So thank you. Very excitingly, Sword of the Sea from the makers of
Giant squid.
Journey and Abzu,
Yes.
2 of my absolute favourite games. Basically, looks like they've combined all of the things from all of their
Yes.
games and put them into one.
And then
Yeah.
put a
Sand and
hoverboard
water
in
and
there.
hoverboards and beautiful graphics.
Yeah.
And even more excitingly, it's coming to PlayStation Plus August 19th.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not far away at
Yeah.
all.
No, it's not. And, in Abzu and Journey, they have provided PlayStation with 2 of its most iconic moments, I think, within those games.
Yeah.
I always think of that moment in Journey where you come down the inside of that sort of tunnel and the sunset is happening and it's golden and it's amazing. Honestly, if the whole game is just riding a sword over dunes, that will be brilliant. And I know there's way more in it than
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
It's looks just, you can just see the joy of just moving around in that game.
The
Just
sand,
going anywhere.
the way that it flows and went up and down as you were just
Yeah.
traversing through it. I was like,
I want to swim around that world next to a killer whale.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just looked fantastic. They've got such an incredible pedigree, and like I said, provided PlayStation with 2 of its most amazing moments ever. So just know it's going to be amazing, and to be coming straight to PlayStation Plus is just brilliant.
yeah.
What a time.
What a time.
Hey, we already mentioned Deus Ex, but also coming to the PlayStation Plus Classics catalogue very soon. We've got Twisted Metal 3 and 4
Yeah.
on July the 15th. Resi 2 and 3, can't get enough Resi.
Stars.
Thank you, Rosie.
Stars.
Thank you.
Stars.
And
Stars.
yes,
Do you remember when you did a skit about how Rosie doesn't need to do that? And it's it's not even a skit. It's just how what she does.
Yeah.
It's it's not.
was it where Rosie had to try and hold in?
It was basically
the urge
exactly
to say
that.
stars?
You were like, Rosie, you don't have to say it every time, and she was like,
and Mist and Riven as well. If you let me get a word in edgeways, Rosie.
yeah, Mist and
Also,
Riven.
Don't do it.
Mist and Riven are games.
Don't do it.
Are games. From my part.
Oh my god.
Mist and Riven are games from my childhood, and they were way beyond my comprehension.
I never played them.
Way beyond my comprehension when I was a child.
I never played them, but I've heard wonderful things about them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were just just really early puzzle games. And I really want to go back and play these because I was fascinated by the worlds, beautiful, interesting worlds. The mystery of them is really deep and exciting, but I was not smart enough as a child. I'd like to think I'm more smart now than I was.
You should
then.
replay them then.
I want to. That's what I'm saying. I'm
We'll
going to give it a
see,
go.
won't we?
And I think I will probably
We'll
get
see.
stuck immediately, exactly as I did as a child. Yeah, I'm glad they're coming. That's great.
We've been talking for probably 40 minutes now.
Oh my gosh, oh my
Longer than the
gosh.
state of
It's
play.
1:45. Rosie's going to turn
Oh
into
my
an
God.
escape
We've
monkey
gotta
in
have-
15 minutes.
We've got to hurry.
So we've got to wrap this up. And the last game we're going to talk about, the first reveal of IO Interactive's James Bond game,
Da, 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 da.
First Light.
number.
But let's not get a copyright strike from
I don't think we can
MGM
get
and Amazon.
I can't.
We're
Why
just
do we
so
say
good at
this?
recreating
Yeah,
it.
I know. Is that an orchestra? Is that a live orchestra?
First, yeah. So, I mean, the pedigree that IO Interactive have, they said 25 years experience with
Agents.
Agents.
Yeah, with agents.
yeah.
We know many agents in our time.
I mean, they have absolutely perfected the Hitman formula. And there's so much about the Hitman games that I think we all would agree would work perfectly in a James Bond context. The angle they've gone for is a very interesting one narratively. We're playing as a young James Bond.
Yeah.
Before he's earned his 00 status. So
I love the tagline.
He's in the Navy, isn't he?
Earn the number.
Earn the
Yeah.
number.
Earn
So
the
he's
number.
in the Navy, and he's got to earn his place among. And we see like an opening exchange between two people at MI6, and I assume, who are debating about whether James Bond should be accepted onto the 00 program.
Yeah.
And one of them's like, no, he's too reckless.
He's reckless.
He's
It
reckless.
I love that. It
He's
didn't make me-
insubordinate. He's dangerous.
And the other one's like, those are all the reasons we should be putting him.
It reminded me so much of Agent 47 when it was just like, we don't know anything about this man. And it's like, that's exactly why we've chosen him. Like, again, it's like you've got this character. It's like, everything's wrong with choosing this person as a candidate.
I mean,
That's
But
why
yes.
he's right.
That's why
they
he's
don't know
right.
anything about me. It doesn't mean I should be selected as a secret agent.
I don't know, you might be the best secret agent because now you're saying it.
Yeah, you trying to cover the fact that you're a secret agent?
Yeah.
Because now I really think you're a secret agent. Weird.
You've done well. Agent Rob.
Oh my god.
Maybe it's a triple bluff.
Yeah.
Oh.
There was a lot in that trailer.
Yeah.
A lot. And they said that, keep an eye out for a deep dive into the gameplay coming soon, which I'm really, really excited for.
Yes.
We saw, it looked like there were car chases. We saw a lot of running and gunning.
Watches.
We
They
saw,
had
we
gadget
saw.
watches.
You got to have a gadget watch.
You got to have a gadget watch.
Come on. We saw like stealthy gameplay. I think we saw some sort of infiltration.
The
more
cars,
Hitman
the
style.
car chase
Yeah.
bits.
Yeah.
Just, when you're playing Bond, you want that fantasy, don't you? You want to be in a tuxedo in a casino,
Yeah.
ordering a martini. Then
Yeah.
you want to be in a car,
Yeah.
doing something on the water.
And it's got to be global. I want to be traveling
Yeah.
the world.
Yeah.
It's
gonna
swanky parties, yachts.
I mean, I'm here for it. 2026, it's coming to PS5.
Can we do that chord? It's so hard.
Yeah.
That's harder to do. I can only do one note. But you have to do the hands. You get it. Ooh,
Mr. Bond.
We also got
Mr. Bond.
we also got a little tease, another little look at Ghost of Yotei.
Damn you! Tease.
So much teasing.
We
Yeah.
were very
The
very
best-
fixated on the wolf dog creature.
The wolf mouth graphics, best wolf mouth graphics I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
That the bit that dogs have, like the black droopy bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not skin, but it's not mouth. It's something in between. It's weird. The gums.
Oh,
like,
yeah, I
know
not
what you
gums
mean.
either.
No.
Just my dog has it, and it just droops down really weirdly.
Yeah.
But they've really nailed the texture of that weird half gum, half mouth bit that dogs have.
Yeah.
I mean, how much work is that?
I don't
How
know why-
long goes into nailing
Someone's
the weird
job
not
to do
mouth,
that.
not gum, droopy dog bit?
Yeah.
The not gum, not mouth, droopy dog bit supervisor. I heard they're in the credits for Ghost of Yotei.
Yeah.
Put that on their CV. It's
Yeah.
just like I specifically animated the not gum, not teeth, the droopy bit of the wolf.
It was a great tease. We were all like,
I was so ready.
here we go.
Yeah,
It's
we were
about
like,
to be
we're
going
ready.
back.
to sneak in there and we're about to see some amazing action, but it's like, no, not quite yet.
Yeah.
But soon.
July, I believe.
Yeah.
July.
A whole state of play dedicated to Ghost of Yotei.
Yes.
Next month.
That's going to be special.
That is going to be cool.
Yeah, I can't believe that's this year. Oh man,
Yeah.
oh, it's happening. It's
I'm
actually
so
happening.
excited. I'm so excited for it.
It was such a great show, wasn't it? I really, really
I
enjoyed
thought
this
so.
show.
There was some,
A bit of everything.
big hitters.
Yeah.
Some like fun surprises. Some really funny stuff.
It was. I loved the sense of humour in the show.
I
It was
did.
Yeah.
great. It was perfect.
And I think the thing that I really enjoyed the most of Romeo is a Dead Man. I just
Yeah.
can't stop thinking about that
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be watching the trailer multiple times
Yes.
on my way home.
Not whilst driving.
No, whilst I'm walking to my car.
Yeah, then you'll be listening to it.
I want to listen to the song that they played for that trailer. I want to if that ever comes out, I'm like, I'm gonna put that on my Spotify if it ever is on Spotify.
So just before we say goodnight, because Rosie's got to go very quickly.
She's gonna turn.
I can already see like some fairy sparkles appearing around Rosie. She's about to turn.
You see the Ape Escape helmet slowly like appearing on like the little alarm bells are going.
What's the vibe in the chat, Rosie? What's everyone most excited about, would you say?
Well, John Span said it has everything, which it really did.
Yeah.
A lot of people talking about the dog graphics at the moment. I'm just having a quick... Yeah, Sixpin says Rob loves water and jowls graphics. Is that what they're called? Jowls. That's what everyone...
Thank you.
Yep.
The jowls.
Probably is jowls, yeah.
Mick DC says, I missed it, and this stream, did they show baby steps? They did.
They did.
They did.
They did.
So definitely check it out. Watch the VOD of it and enjoy watching baby steps. D3 Mystic says Bloodstained. Ghostess says Deus Ex. Space Cadet says Final Fantasy Tactics. Literally those three were back to back.
Should we quickly decide out of the three of us, or each of our favourite things? Rob, you're going for Romeo is a Dead Man.
Romeo is a Dead Man.
Rosie, what were you? What was your number one?
There
could be no runners-up. You must pick one game.
Just one. Just one, Rosie.
Quickly.
Okay.
Because you're going to turn into an Ape Escape monkey
The
any
thing that made
second.
me scream was the Ape Escape monkeys in Metal Gear Solid Delta.
Right.
So
Okay.
yeah, I'm going to say Metal Gear Solid
I'm
Delta.
going to go with Pragmata.
Interesting.
I really like the look of that.
Interesting.
Yeah, that got me excited.
And also Astrobot.
Oh yeah, Astrobot.
Yeah.
But I think that's just a universal
Only
team
one, Rosie.
I know,
Yeah.
but I think that's the universal team one.
Right.
And then Alex's is Nioh.
Alex will go for Neo 3.
Yep,
Yeah.
Nioh 3.
And Nath will go for bedtime, because it is bedtime.
It is bedtime. Yeah,
It really
thank
is
God.
bedtime. It's 7 or it's 10 to midnight.
Yeah, come on.
Thanks so much for staying up late, everybody.
And Connor as well.
Or staying up at a normal time if you're watching in America. Because it's just tea time for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can have your dinner now.
Yeah. Be nice.
We're going to bed. But we're going to be back. Well, we'll be back with another video tomorrow, but keep your eyes peeled. Who knows? There might be some Neo 3 stuff.
Yeah.
The demo's out. I don't know if it's there right now.
Yeah, hopefully it's downloaded. Hopefully it's downloaded for
Um,
everyone whilst watching this, so something to do after this.
Yeah, it's downloaded.
I've just had a confirmation in my ear that we have downloaded it. And it is ready to play.
Yes, Mr. Bond. He's an agent again.
We expect you to Neo.
Thank you so much for watching, everybody. We will see you again very soon. Thanks for joining us. Goodbye.